I have a letter for you. Where is it? I cried, overjoyed. I have got it, rejoined Maximich, putting his hand into his breast. I promised Palashka to give it to you. He handed me a folded paper, and immediately darted off at full gallop. I opened it and read with emotion the following lines. It has pleased God to deprive me at once of my father and my mother. I have no longer on earth either parents or protectors. I have recourse to you, because I know you have always wished me well, and also that you are ever ready to help those in need. I pray God this letter may reach you. Maximich has promised me he will ensure it reaching you. Palashka has also heard Maximich say that he often sees you from afar in the sorties, and that you do not take care of yourself, nor think of those who pray God for you with tears. I was long ill, and when at last I recovered, Alexey Ivanich, who commands here in the room of my late father, forced Father Gerasim to hand me over to him by threatening him with Pugachev. I live under his guardianship in our house. Alexey Ivanich tries to oblige me to marry him. He avers that he saved my life by not exposing Akulina Pamfilovna's stratagem when she spoke of me to the robbers as her niece, but it would be easier to me to die than to become the wife of a man like Chvabrin. He treats me with great cruelty, and threatens, if I do not change my mind, to bring me to the robber camp, where I should suffer the fate of Elizabeth Karloff. I have begged Alexey Ivanich to give me some time to think it over. He has given me 3 days. If at the end of that time I do not become his wife, I need expect no more consideration at his hands. Oh! My father, Petr Andreevich, you are my only stay. Defend me, a poor girl. Beg the general and all your superiors to send us help as soon as possible, and come yourself if you can. I remain, your submissive orphan, Marya Myrnov. I almost went mad when I read this letter. I rushed to the town, spurring without pity my poor horse. During the ride I turned over in my mind 1,000 projects for rescuing the poor girl without being able to decide on any. Arrived in the town, I went straight to the general's, and I actually ran into his room. He was walking up and down, smoking his meerschaum pipe. Upon seeing me he stood still, my appearance doubtless struck him, for he questioned me with a kind of anxiety on the cause of my abrupt entry. Your Excellency, said I come to you as I would to my poor father. Do not reject my request, the happiness of my whole life is in question. What is all this, my father? Asked the astounded general. What can I do for you? Speak. Your Excellency, allow me to take a battalion of soldiers and 50 Cossacks, and go and clear out Fort Belogorsk. The general stared, thinking, probably, that I was out of my senses, and he was not far wrong. How? What? What? Clear out Fort Belogorsk, he said at last. I'll answer for success, I rejoined, hotly. Only let me go. No, young man, he said, shaking his head, it is so far away. The enemy would easily block all communication with the principal strategic point, which would quickly enable him to defeat you utterly and decisively. A blocked communication, do you see? I took fright when I saw he was getting involved in a military dissertation, and I made haste to interrupt him. The daughter of Captain Myrnov, I said, has just written me a letter asking for help. Shvabrine is obliging her to become his wife. Indeed. Oh. This Shvabrine is a great rascal. If he falls into my hands I'll have him tried in 24 hours, and we will shoot him on the glacis of the fort. But in the meantime we must have patience. Have patience, I cried, beside myself. Between this and then he will ill-treat Marya. Oh! replied the general. Still that would not be such a terrible misfortune for her. It would be better for her to be the wife of Shvabrine, who can now protect her. And when we shall have shot him, then, with heaven's help, the betrothed will come together again. Pretty little widows do not long remain single, I mean to say a widow more easily finds a husband. I'd rather die, I cried, furiously, than leave her to Shvabrine. Ah! Bah! said the old man. I understand now. Probably you are in love with Marya Ivanovna. Then it is another thing. Poor boy! But still it is not possible for me to give you a battalion and 50 Cossacks. This expedition is unreasonable, and I cannot take it upon my own responsibility. I bowed my head, despair overwhelmed me. All at once an idea flashed across me, and what it was the reader will see in the next chapter, as the old novelists used to say,